What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Vinny D for COD Authority Weekly Update, April 15th. A couple of weeks I haven't created a video, guys. It was time to jump back into it. I waited for the dust to settle with the shipment crate problem. Now that the numbers are back down to normal, it was time to shoot out a video. We're going to split up the Xbox and PlayStation as we do usually, break it down, look over the numbers. Nothing new that the game has dried up a little bit. 6 months into the game now, that's normal. For the website itself, as I had mentioned, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. I was going to push it to the 26-week mark, but this is going to happen within the next month. I've just got to get some things down packed on how I want to go about it. But for you guys in the top 100, hold on to your ranks. Try to hold your ground because the giveaway is coming. So let's jump into it. This week we'll start with the PlayStation side of things, the dominant platform. As usual, nothing's changed on that end. Higher numbers, better players. That's been like that from day one. There's no hiding the numbers anymore. You have your weekly average from 1 to 20 is around 1.5 million points, so still very strong. The only difference here on the PlayStation side, guys, is that I extracted the stats on Monday morning at 8 a.m. So you guys actually have 12 hours more. I had a problem getting the stats at 8 p.m. on Sunday night. So that's why the numbers are a little bit higher. But needless to say, PlayStation's always the stronger platform. Nothing dramatic in the top 20. The numbers are kind of there's a big gap, guys. I mean, like, again, I'm not going to start, the numbers are there for you to see. Shred at 40 million, and here at 20, you have 23 million for High Fly Guy. So 17 million point gap between 1 and 20. It's a lot of points. I mean, when you're averaging 1.5 million a week for the top 20, you do the math. I mean, it's you're looking at around 8 weeks to just scrape the surface, and Shred. It's not like he's going to stop. He could step down on the gas whenever he wants, and put up big numbers. So a little bit of a drop off from the top guys. It's only normal. I mean, if we look at the numbers and the SPMs, the main guys that have been here for 19 weeks, I mean, some of them are slowing down, and that's only normal. And there is other guys climbing, but overall, the top 20, there's not much shakeup. I would just say for the guys outside of the top 20, okay, let's say from 10 to 20, gun for getting into the top 10. Looking at the numbers here again, it's going to be very hard to ever try and make it to one. Actually, practically impossible because, like I said, Shredder holds his own destiny, and he could do what he wants when he wants if he decides to put in time. So for the guys from 10 to 20, all I could say to you is, like, work the guys ahead of you and work the number here. Like, if you look here at number 9, 27 million. Here it's only practically 24 million. There's your gap. I mean, if you're looking at number 1, it's a huge gap. So 1 to 20, again, not much change. It's always, as the time goes on, it's harder and harder for ranks to shuffle. And I start looking at the time played over here over SPM, guys that are putting in, 50, 45 days, and that continue to put in a lot of time over here. Sully, in the end, they'll continue to march their way up, while other guys that have stopped playing the game or play less will obviously drop off. So that's it for the top 20. 21 to 40 was still a strong bracket. 1 million point average here, which is good. It looks like the top guys are slowing down a little bit on this side also. You'll see a lot of zeros for the guys that have been here for 19 weeks. Here 19, a new era, 19 weeks, no time played. Chillo, no time played. And the list goes on. Toru over here, 19 weeks on board, 1 hour played. They've done their dues. Not everybody has to continue playing the game for 12 months. A lot of guys, it's hitting the 1000 MP, they stop playing, or moving over to other games. So look, somebody will take over the spot, and that's where the trend is right now. A lot of green on the way up, and a lot of the trending downwards is, again, guys that are just not playing. So if I look at the biggest jumps, you'll start seeing, from 40 down is where kind of the jumps are happening here. Like, they're moving their way up, and 21 to 40 all depends on how long you're going to play going forward. There's not much of a gap from 21 to 40 as opposed to 1 to 20. What I mean by that, if you look at 21, he's at 23 million over here, Akitayaya, and at 40, 19 million. So 4 million points. Now this is doable. This is very doable from 40 to leap your way up to 20. So 41 to 60, the average, still a strong week. 900,000 point average from 41 to 60, which is very good. And the average day played, the average time played is 1 day, which is good. At least there's guys. If you look at the side bracket here, everybody's playing. That's the difference here, as opposed to the 1 to 40, where you'll see guys that will kind of simmered out or dropped off. Here, a little bit lower, like not many guys with 2 days. However, everybody's playing the game, so it's a competitive bracket. And it's competitive. The average, you want to. There's not much of a difference between 1 million and 1.5 million points, depending on what you're putting in. And you could look at the jumps. If we take a look over here at Enemy Publix, who's only been on the board for 4 weeks. You put up 2 million points in a week. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Yes, it's shipment domination. But look at the leap over here, 16 slot jump. So you won't see that from 21 to 40, but as you go down lower, you'll see these big jumps of 10, 15 slot jumps. The red obviously has bigger dips than the jumps. What I mean by that is, besides the enemy, look here, you'll see like 1 slot, 4 slots. However, the guys that are dipping down have like bigger drops. 7 point drop over here. Hacksaw. Usually this is only 1 week. He's pretty consistent. And the same thing over here. You'll see the drops from 10 slot drop, 6 slot drop. So a little bit of a red, and the climbs. But again, very healthy bracket at 900,000 point average. Also over here, a nice little jump over here. I'm just going to go down from 59, a 9 slot jump. Shot at the Dunda, 8 weeks on the board, 1.2 million points, 2 days played. Again, like nice to see 2 days played still at this point in the game. So that's it from 41 to 60. If we look at 61 to 80, the average drops down a little bit more. Here you're looking at an average at around 750,000 between 60 and 80, 61 and 80. More of an upward trend. If we could see that, you'll see more of the greens over here, and you notice that the SPMs there's a big drop off on the SPMs on this side, where you'll see the guys that are pretty much grinding. What I mean by that is, if you look at guys with lower SPMs, I start looking at the time played and the days played. You'll see a little bit of a lower SPM with guys that are sub 400, just putting in a lot of time, which is good to see. And they're also the guys that are plus 400 SPM that have just made it onto the board that are actually climbing. What I mentioned by that is, if you look at the St. Louis kid over here at 68, only 3 weeks on board, healthy SPM at 490, and 1.6 million points played with a day and 6 hours played. So that's good. Other notables that there's a lot of uphill trends with the new guys I've noticed in this bracket. So guys that have been there 3-4 weeks that are making noise. Over here, 64. Rizzo was 70, 3 weeks on the board. Nice to see. Skunk Prelude over here at 66 was 73, 5 weeks on board. Again, more of a newcomer. 68, as I mentioned before, the St. Louis kid. 71, Queen Venus was 86. Nice jump, 3 weeks on board, 1.4 million points. And 73, Mr. Badass, who was 84, again, 3 weeks on board. So guys that are, guys that are new. We don't know where they're going. I mean, now it's 2-3 weeks on the board, and you could constantly see them trending upwards. So, just because you got in later doesn't mean that you can't trend in the right direction. And a lot of the guys dropping are guys that have been there and have stamped their marks, for many weeks previously. Look at here over here, 17 weeks. 14 weeks. Dirty Bam is consistent. I know he plays 2 games, so it's hard for him, but still. Um, More to be seen, I guess, within the 61 to 80, but at least it's nice to see a lot of green and a lot of climb. 81 to 100. Guys, there's only 3 newcomers this week. I know a lot of the guys ask me, "Oh, how far off am I, or am I in the top 100?" I remember when we started this back in November and December, every week you'd shuffle around 10, 15 guys coming in and dropping out. But over time, as you lock in with your points, it's very hard for you to drop out unless you completely stop playing for many weeks to come. So there's only 3 newcomers this week, excuse me. 95, King Perez, Snoop at 98, and Cheesy at 100. So as you can see, hard to crack into the top 100 just like it was before. What you need to do now is you need to count on the guys that aren't playing or have stopped playing to drop out. Before it was grind, 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 make your way in. Now you're relying on guys not playing or slowing down, to break in, and that's how you basically stay in. So, well, again, more to see within these guys. It's kind of a mixed bag. You've got your guys here that have been here 10 plus weeks, and you've got your newcomers. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But as you can see, a lot of the guys, it's just the time's not there, the points are not there. So that's about it for that for PlayStation. It's a nice week. It was stronger than the Xbox side, which we'll jump into right now. Xbox side, kind of a little bit different for you guys. What I mean by that is now because Mad TV is no longer on these boards, and we know that Scuds, he gave away his belt a couple of months ago now and had said he's slowing down. Same with Sick over here. This opens up the floodgates for, it's up for grabs really for the on the Xbox side. If you look at the points over here, Scud's at 27.8. He's about to get past Anger Outsiders at 27 million. Sick, like you had mentioned, he's on the down low right now. So here, as opposed to the the PlayStation side, it really is up for grabs. And what I mean by that is the numbers can be caught. Your PlayStation, you're looking at 17 million points between 1 and 20. On your side of things, it's only really 27 Scuds, who's hardly playing anymore, 27 million, and down at number 20, you've got 18 million. So, 9 million points is really not bad. Um, it's kind of a little bit of a mixed bag this week for on the Xbox side of things. Playing time is down. I've noticed that a lot of guys that are just not, could be a week off, could just be that they've got other games going on, but a little bit of a down week with the times played that I've noticed. The average was 1 million points, which is also very low. So 1 million point average for all the guys combined in the top 20. And there's only 5 guys left in the top 20 that have been there since day one. So if you look here, 21 Scuds, War Ninja, Atomic Mountain, Lolitos. So as you can see, the guys are starting to really drop out. Who've been there for a while. Jova XBL is obviously putting up some big numbers. He knows what to do with domination and shipment over here. 2.3 million points, was 8, now 5. Nice jump. Killiga Reborn, now 10, was 12. Nice 1.2 million points. A little bit of a lower SPM, but still, needless to say, 2 days played, nice to see. And a little bit of the underdog we always root for, Milk and Cookies. Jumped a spot. However, 1.3 million points above the average. Again, 264 SPM, 2 days and 14 hours played. So huge time played there. Nice to see for the guys that have just broken to the top 100 with a little bit of a lower SPM. Everything's possible. You don't just need a 500-600 SPM to make your stamp your mark. 21 to 40 is actually. I'm more impressed with 21 to 40 this week than I was from 1 to 20. The average is 1 million points also in this bracket, and that's because of the strong play from 21 to 24. Master Jagger 2.8 million, FP Ghost 2.6, 1.8 Smithley, Q Omega 1.7. This is why your average is high over here. You also, I'd say from 20 to 28. Ganja Berry 1.5, Swift and Easy 1.7. These are huge numbers for a week that's kind of relatively slow. So as you can see, you'll see the green guys, anybody in green over here. Manic Episodes, 4 weeks on board, 1.7 million points put in, 2 days played. Big week. So these guys, I'm expecting this to be moved into the top 20 come this week. And it's really not a big point difference. I just want to show you guys what the difference is between 1 million points if you're ranked 26 and if you're ranked 39. So how you could see the difference in 100,000 points is huge. If we look over here, this slug's for you. Okay, he dropped a slot. He was 25. He's now 26. 1.2 million points. If we go down to 39, Big DPW, also around 1.2 million points. He gained 7 spots. So you could see. Same amount of points, there's a huge difference between being down here and up here just when you have the same amount of points. So if you're heading in this direction, you know that every 100,000 is a huge leap in that side. And again, the newcomers to the weeks on board that we're going to keep an eye on, as I had mentioned before, Master Jagger, FP the Ghost, Manic Episodes, again, new, only 4 weeks on board. Strong SPMs by a lot of these guys or time played. So we'll keep an eye on and see what kind of trend they're going to head into. But again, a lot of the top guys have stopped playing, so it just opens up the spots for others. 41 to 60, it's a 650,000 point average. I mean, okay for this area. It's now you'll start seeing the drop off of the SPMs. You'll see the lower in the 200s, 300s. and just, lower SPMs, but more time played, but then it's just harder to get your points put up. So that's this is the kind of bracket that you're in right here. It's again, like the lower SPMs, higher time played. It's hard to break the 1 million point mark, and that's why the average is down a little bit. A couple of notables that I've seen, a couple of nice jumps. Number 46 was 59 IMU bro, 1.4 mil, nice. 50 from 58 IFVT, 1.1 million points put in, 4 weeks on the board, nice. And 56 to 68 Ocean Burmicide, 6 weeks on the board, 12-point jump, 1.2 million points. Again, like you'll see the difference, 2 days and 1 hour played. Within a couple 100,000 points, you could jump 6, 7 slots from this 41 to 60 range. So it's very nice to see. 61 to 80, you're looking at around a 450,000 point average for the week, which is down compared to previous weeks. Nobody's over 1 million points, which is also a first. That's why I say it's a slow week. Your highest for the week is Jugs at 65, 930,000. So there's your high for the bracket. Only 6 players with SPMs of 400 or higher. So you'll see here it's a lower SPM. Now it comes into the days played, the amount of time being put in, and you'll see a lot of the red is what's causing the averages to go down, and it's a low play time. So if we take a look at the reds here, like 0 days, 1 hour, 7 hours, 0 days, like this 60 to 80 opens up for the 81 to 100. So kind of a over here OG Advanced 0 days. This could just be 1 week, as I always mention, but you do have to keep an eye on it. That's why there's a lot of red. The bracket was very slow. Guys that have just not put in time. So that's really going to open up from 81 to 100. And it's not really a huge gap, guys. I mean, from 61 to 80, there's only a 900,000 point gap over here. It's not even 1 million points. So you can make up ground with a big week. You could be jumping 15, 20 slots very, very easily. 81 to 100. There's only 5 new players that broke into the top 100 this week. They're all down here. And this only makes sense, guys. As time goes on, and this was done from the beginning, the points that are put up and the guys that lock in, it's very hard for guys to drop out from 65. They don't play a week and they just all of a sudden hit 101. It doesn't work like that anymore. At this point in the game, 6 months in, once you don't play for a week, you lose 10, 12 slots because you've accumulated your points over time. So congratulations to the new 5 who've made it in. Let's see if they're going to trend upwards or not. There's a nice little push going on here from 81 to 87. Look, green everywhere. Everybody's green over here. All newcomers, second week on board, second week on board, second week on board, trending upwards. And I always mention that in every video is like, once you get in, let's see now, is it one and done? Or are you going to continue to move your way up? So obviously these guys here show that, they're here to stay. As they move up, they trend upwards. Lower SPMs, you'll see a lot of guys with, in the 200s actually, and just what higher time played. I did want to, do a shout out to Old Cowboy 1962 over here. Ranked, he was 97s, now 84. 45 days played, 206 SPM. I know I had reached out to him. He's an older cat for grinding the boards. He's in his 50s, and it's nice to see and motivate the younger guys that even in your 50s, he's still got it. He's still in the top 100, and it's not gaming never ends. It never grows old. So it's a perfect example and good motivation to see somebody at his age in the top 100. And that's pretty much it on the Xbox side of things. Also. Again, a slower week, a dry week. Things are kind of slowing down a little bit now. And it's only 6 months, but the game itself is stale. So that all makes sense and everything comes together. But, the leaderboards must go on. Guys will come, guys will go. And I'll do my best to keep my stats updated for you guys every Sunday night. And, if there's anything, you could always reach out to me. So that's it for this week. Enjoy the week. I'll update these stats again on Sunday night. We'll see where we're at. I'll compile it. I'll take a look, and I'll present you guys a new video. Peace out.